Here we are, another Friday Night Live, June 20, where are we? 28th, 2024. Hope everybody's doing amazing. Let's see if this is working here. Okay, we got sound, we got everything. Um, Beautiful, wonderful. Sunny day, a little cooler than um, normal summer weather here in the Greater Teal, but we'll take it. As they say, oh, it's caused by climate change. It's too cold because of things. First it was global warming, then it's climate change, caca. Believe whatever you want. All I know is there's cycles in nature, and mankind will never understand them. Never. Because the combinations of everything in existence is infinite. And how are they going to calculate that stuff? You tell me that you understand that? White jacket? Bull fucking shit, I call it. Excuse my language, sorry. I don't like to swear, but it's bull caca. Marcone! Come over, have some tea. Come on. You missed it, Mark. You missed it. So, here we are in the little MFS realm, all by ourselves. A few of the few. Continue on. A few of the few. We enjoy each moment. We enjoy the lifestyle less is more. We comprehend the lifestyle less is more. We integrate the lifestyle less is more because we comprehend it because we integrate it. The lifestyle less is more, and we grow through the lifestyle less is more because it's a path journey to unto the divine creator, unto the divine. Without the divine, we wouldn't be here. For the atheists, we pray for them. Like the android said, how does it work? I evolved from a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, bull crap. Came out of nothingness. There was no designer, no thought process, no nothing. It just happened. And that's the lineage of how the atheists think. And we bless them and we pray for them that they one day they can see that there's an intelligent design behind anything and everything that's been created. Houses didn't just appear. The landscape of nature didn't just appear with all the trees, the bushes, the insects, the animals, the weather, the planet, the soil organisms, the bacteria, the fungi, and on and on and on. It's infinite. The air, the atmosphere, the sun, the moon, the planets. Oh, it just appeared, just an accident. Nothing ever created has been an accident. Unto the divine, unto the divine. We bless all souls that one day they may see, and they may not. It's okay. Um, at one time, we're all arrogant and we believe we know everything. Growing up as a teenager, we knew everything, right? And then in our 20s, teenagers, we knew everything. In our 20s, we believed we knew most of everything. And then in the 30s, we said, okay, maybe there's some things we don't know, but we still know a lot. And then in our 40s, wait a minute, I don't know if I know everything. I don't know if I know anything. And then in our 50s, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. And it continues. We have the access to all knowledge, all creation of the divine source. We have access to that because we come from that and we are part of that. If we want to be humble enough to succumb and bow down to that wonderful greatness, that the divine essence, you know, the number of creation, 432. We want to bow down to that and accept that and be humble and say, we don't know anything, and allow. In the manifest realm, we allow. We don't know anything. We allow the process. We allow the body to purge. We allow the body to purge the physical, mental, and emotional obstructions. We allow, as those obstructions are going out, we embrace and jump for joy. We allow the body, the intelligence of the body, direction from the divine through the soul, right? From source, through the soul from source. We allow the regeneration and the rejuvenation and the healing to happen. We don't have a clue how it happens. And if anybody, for me, if anybody tells me that they have the knowledge of how it happens, I just go the other way. I don't pay attention to it anymore. I used to. I fell in that trap. The Luciferic intellect, blah, blah, blah. The Luciferic intellect, the white jackets, when they talk, they make it sound like they know everything. They know nothing. It's all done through the massive mind control programming that we all fell into the trap of and believe it because of that mind control. And we all been influenced from that mind control. And we're continuously influenced from that mind control, from our upbringing for the rest of our lives. It doesn't go away. It's something we need to work on, choose to work on for the rest of our lives, to delete, delete when we hear that Luciferic intellect, verbalage, verbal diarrhea, delete, delete, delete. No matter how good it sounds, just delete. Just in your mind, just say delete. Smile and yeah, you're okay, yeah, beautiful, wonderful. And in my mind, I just say delete, 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 delete. Whatever comes out, I say delete. As the lips are moving, they're lying because they don't understand it all. It's just a repetitive tape recorder of what they've learned, of what we've learned. And all the Luciferic intellect works that way. It's a massive mind control. So we can choose to accept it. That's truth, in fact, even though it changes every few years, because it does. The Luciferic intellect changes every few years because it's not based on any facts. It's based on make-believe, theory, man-made caca. And we've seen that just in the lifespans of 5+ decades, almost 6 decades. I've seen the changes. Every so many years, they've changed. They changed the truth. Can't stay the same because it's not truth. It's fiction. It's theory. It's made up, man-made. But when you look at fasting world, the wonderful world of fasting lifestyle, the wonderful world of the divine intelligence, creation, the creation from the intelligence of the divine creator. It's infinite and it's perfect. And we just have to learn to allow. And what happens when we do that? Truly, magic happens. Magic happens. And for those who can't accept it and want to point fingers at everybody but themselves, you know, pointing fingers, 3-point back, 3-point back to ourselves as we're pointing fingers. For those, that's what they chose to experience: pain, misery, pain, and suffering. And we've had a few of those that went through master fasting, had tremendous, tremendous transformation, went back to their old lifestyle, and then started pointing fingers at everybody but themselves. They're doing it to themselves, but they're not seeing these 3 fingers pointing back. They're pointing at everybody but themselves. And it's the way it is. It's the reality of the facts of this realm. Sad but true. So we don't have all the answers, any answers. We are here to guide people to learn to what? To accept in the divine creator's mass intelligence, infinite intelligence. We're here to allow those processes to take place and unfold so that we do not have to put any thought process to it, except use a little bit of thought process, prudence, and common sense and logic to that wonderful divine creation, and allow that process to unfold and take place and support it. And how would you support it? Mass fast, we're supporting it. We're doing the juice, we're doing we're doing the dry fast cycles, we're doing the lymph massage with the brush every day, the skin brushing, dry skin brushing. We're doing the tinctures, we're drinking the juice, we're doing the enemas, right? That's all we're doing. It's not rocket science, right, folks? It's not rocket science. Hello, if anybody's out there from wherever you are. Laugh to everybody, laugh to those especially in need. We are allowing the infinite intelligence of the divine creator, George, hi George, to let that intelligence work through us. And in doing that, we see miracles happening. We've seen them over and over and over again. Now, as individuals, we can choose to allow that process, or we can deny the process, stop it, and go back to our old ways or whatever ways we believe is superior to the divine creator's intelligent and logic. So that's individual choices and experiences and soul experiences that we all came here to, fulfill. And is there right or wrong? Yeah, there is right or wrong. And we can choose those paths to go down right or wrong paths, because if there was no right or wrong, I don't believe we would see pain, misery, and suffering. The only reason we see pain, misery, and suffering is because of the choices of right and wrong. And watch what's happening, slaughtering innocent children, molesting innocent children, et cetera, crazy things, harvesting organs of innocent children. And we can go on and on and on by these diabolical, evil acts that are happening all the time around the world and have been happening for thousands of years. And they continue to happen, and they continue to grow because the populations grow. So it's happening at a much mass scale than it ever has in history. And it's diabolical. But there's people who believe that they're entitled to this garbage and have superiority and authority over others. It's sickening. It's happening. We want to deny it, we can deny it, but it's happening right in front of our eyes. Ole, how you doing, buddy? So yeah, we're here. We're here to experience. We're here to fulfill the divine creator's design. Follow his laws. Follow the laws of nature, which fall in the laws of the divine creator, and the universal laws, which fall into the line of the creator, because the creator created the laws of the universe, the laws of nature. So if we just follow the laws of nature and the laws of the universe, we fall in line. So if we're hurting anything within this planet and nature, what are we doing? We're not following the divine plan, the divine laws. So we have to sit back and analyze, especially in a beautiful, wonderful dry fasting state where our vision in all senses, in all realms, is widened and open. We have to learn to accept and follow that path and pay attention, and everything comes to the surface and we can start to see, so we can continue to choose the path of the divine, the journey of peace, balance, correct conduct. Hurting anything else, any other life forms, is not that path. If we hurt any other life forms, we are fooling ourselves. We're fooling ourselves. We all have free will. You don't have to believe one word I'm saying, it doesn't matter. I see things different than everybody else, and I've always have. I don't have all the answers, but you can agree or disagree with me. It doesn't bother me. We're here to support people who want to move on that path of divine essence and journey of peace, balance, correct conduct as best we can. We all make mistakes, and we've seen miracles happen. We've seen miracles happen, and we continue to see miracles happen for those who choose this path. It's far and few, you know, it's the few of the few that will choose this path because it's not in line with our circle of people that we interact with, our family, friends, spouses, co-workers, acquaintances. How many people are living this lifestyle? Most of us don't know anybody else, especially when we're starting out. I've been doing this for a long time, so I have acquaintances besides before they started massive fasting. I met a lot of people moving in sort of in this direction. Fasting was the few of the few. It's always been the few of the few. But I mean, raw foods and paying attention to what you eat and eating clean, minimal. But the actual fasting is even much less people choosing that path because when I was doing 100% raw food is from the year 2000 onwards for almost a decade. I had doing a lot of growing my own wheatgrass, barley grass, sunflower sprouts, pea sprouts, and some other sprouts. I was living on, that was my greens, that mostly my staple that I was living on for many years. I did that. I did it for like 15 years. And I would buy the fruits because limited to what fruits we can grow on minimal land and so on and so forth. People used to freak out under my skin complexion. My skin is not like it was those days because of different choices I made. But I have beautiful, thick, strong hair. But I still had kidney challenges because I wasn't at the level of fasting that I am these days. But my skin was immaculate. Got comments after comments on that, and people started implementing some of those things, and they had some good results. But there's where do you want to go? Where do you want to go with this information? Fasting surpasses everything that you can add. Subtraction is the key. Art of subtraction. The master fast art of subtraction is the key on the path of rejuvenation and healing. It's the key. I've not seen anything that we can add that comes even remotely close to fasting states, particularly dry fasting state. Master fast system is a glorified dry fast. We continue to say that because that's what it is, and that's what it's been built on, right? So, fasting state. Wheatgrass. You see wonderful things happening. People start drinking wheatgrass. When you start drinking wheatgrass, what happens is it brings down your appetite because people say it's nutrition, high in nutrition. I say it's back to what I used to say, but what I would say now is because of the access to the wild information of the fields that we are putting through us, and you get less hungry, so you're more conscious of what you eat. You're eating, better quality foods and so on and so forth, and you simplify your diet. Moving in the direction of health is always simplifying the diet, not complicating it with more. It's always the backwards, simplifying. Less is more. Less is more. When we start learning about that and implementing our lifestyle, and we start seeing how it affects us, the less is more. And then we start believing it. It's not the other way around. We don't get the information, start believing, then we do it. We get the information. It sounds kind of reasonable. We start implementing it, experiencing it, and then we start believing it. So this is the way it works. It's the way it worked for me, and the way it worked for many, many, many people who shared their story of us MFS, them following the MFS lifestyle. This is more. It's always that way around. It's never believing and then experiencing. It's starting to understand a little bit, experiencing, believing. And the more we live it, the more we believe it. It's that simple. So, yeah, interesting. Anybody out there still? Anybody got any questions? This is the MFS realm of less is more, the art of subtraction, the glorified dry fast. We put MFS has put dry fasting on the map. Gino, I'm 45 now. God bless. And many of the men my age are running around scared for their testosterone level. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, brother. What do you think about that? How is fasting come to play? Fasting will balance that all out. Lifestyle, less is more. What um, hinders and complicates our testosterone levels and every single level? All balance. It's an eating lifestyle, obstructive eating lifestyle. What do we need to do? Purge out. I'll tell you, just before uh, getting into the dry fasting and back on fruits and herbs and stuff for almost a 3-year period, I started doing high fats, the high fat raw vegan lifestyle, which almost killed me. But at that time, just before that, I was doing 100% raw food. And in the high fat experience, I was also very close to 100%. I was doing very small amounts of cooked food, but I was doing high fat, right? Raw vegan. And I was working out heavy weights in that time. And this is how many years ago now? When did I do that? In the late 2000s. So we're about at least 15 years ago. So that I was in my 40s, right? And everybody had testosterone levels and with that obstructive diet, my testosterone levels were skyrocketing. The reason I know is because I had them checked, and the woman who checked it goes, I don't understand. How come your testosterone level is so high? Well, now we understand. Um, testosterone is high testosterone would be an imbalance, right? Um, so if you're living a fasting lifestyle and you're clean minimal eating, everything's going to balance out. And for me personally, Oleg, I'm not going to worry about what they say in those tests, because those tests are based on a population that is in misery, pain, and suffering. So I'm not going to rely on those numbers that are healthy. But if you understand what I'm trying to say, I'm not going to rely on that. It's a gauge if you want to use it, but not an absolute gauge, if you know what I mean. So what I'm trying to say is live in peace, balance, correct conduct, live in it with a clean, minimal eating, fasting lifestyle. And pay attention, pay attention on how you feel the next morning from what you've eaten the day before. When you wake up, pay attention. And if you're not feeling well, then I would recommend to stay away from those foods. The easiest foods for me, or I do indulge here and there in more obstructive things, but I have to do it less and less because for me, I want less and less of those feelings. When I wake up, I want to be awake. And that's mostly how I am. I wake up, my eyes are open, I'm up. And I do whatever I have to do. I don't need to spend time waking up. I'm awake. As like a teenage years, bang, you're up and you do whatever to do. So when there's the days I choose to do a little bit of obstructive things, going out, socializing, and I wake up in the morning, you know, takes a bit extra time. And my dialogue is, I want less of this. I want less of it. That's my dialogue. So each one of us chooses the level of obstructiveness we want to live, or the level of not obstructiveness. We have to individually choose that. I cannot dictate to anybody how they want to live their life and what level of obstructiveness. We each have to choose that. And for everybody, it's going to be different. And but what I'm trying to convey is, if we want to have a lifestyle of lots of energy, pain-free, joy, happiness, et cetera, healthy, vibrant, we know the path. We know the path. It's a lifestyle, less is more. Clean, minimal eating, and fasting lifestyle. We know the path. The choice is in each one of us, the individual, on how much of that we want. And go from there. So, testosterone, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, essential fats, on and on and on. Man-made theories. If you know what I mean. Man-made theories. They're a rough gauge that I would not rely on. I would not rely on. When somebody's in trouble through those tests they do, they've already been in imbalanced state for many years before it can show up in these tests that they run. Many years. It takes years of abuse to get to those states. Right? So fasting lifestyle, all the weaknesses come to the surface. We can see way before any of those tests will show anything. And somebody goes to the test first time, they feel off, whatever they're what's the word, ignoring certain sensations in their body, or they don't feel anything because they're numb. Go to a doctor, and it's at a point where, oh, we give you a month to live, 6 months to live, whatever. I'm just giving an example. But it's already been underlying for years. It doesn't happen overnight. These assaults are continual over months, years, decades, and then they show up all of a sudden. It's not all of a sudden. So learn how to pay attention. That's all we're saying. This spheric intellect is easy to fall in the trap of. Gina, can you talk about how to handle a situation where someone gets really hungry and dizzy if they don't consume juice or food often? Due to weak adrenals, low blood sugar, what would the suggestion be here in terms of being able to drive fast overall? George, the reason for that is they have lots of obstructions. They've been exposed to lots of obstructions, lots of chemicals, lots of medication, drugs, et cetera. And as we're going through the experiences of the fast, the body's trying to release these things, and that's why we get we seem to be getting imbalance, but the body's only moving towards balance as we're going through this experience. It's just a matter of time, patience, endurance, and resilience to continue on these paths and minimize our obstructive eating and our obstructive relationships, obstructive environments. The more we minimize those things, the more we'll be able to purge out those things, and the better we're going to feel little by little. Because as we continue to move down this journey, those will be less and less and less. That's just not the way it is. And we fall back into obstructive eating, all these things will accumulate, and we'll go back to those feelings and states. It's nothing we're going to add that's going to fix these things. How do I know? Because I've been down these paths, and the way out of them is subtraction, not addition. Addition does not work for me at all. I became very sensitive after all these years. So it's the subtraction that is how we are going to solve these problems. And we can't just start dry fasting and solve all the problems. This is months and years and maybe decades for some people to work around these challenges, because they're through our current lifestyle experiences, through our parents' experience, through our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our great-great-grandparents, ancestral. We carry the emotions of these obstructions, and we manifest them through our current emotions, and so on and so forth. And this is the outcome of all these situations. I've experienced a lot of this stuff. There needs to be the resilience and the discipline and the desire, the divine desire to continue. It's not going to be done through willpower. It's going to be done through discipline and resilience and belief, faith, and trust. Belief, faith, and trust. Willpower, you're only going to go so far. Anybody with willpower, they fall down. People who try, they fall down. So, little by little, as our experiences grow and continue to grow, more and more of these experiences, we will find that we gain a little more trust and faith, a little more trust and faith, a little more trust and faith, and we start feeling better and better and better. Doesn't happen overnight. It's a lifetime journey. Does not happen overnight. The ones who believe it happens overnight, like saying, they do a long fast and they feel amazing, and then they go back to their old ways, and then they start pointing fingers and blaming everybody because they have not listened to or understood anything that we've shared. That this is a lifestyle. Period. It is a lifestyle, a journey we continue on that path, ongoing for the rest of our days. That's all it is. That's all I can say. I don't know how else to convey. We need to go through experiences and make too much sense. Well, it's only speaking through my experiences, George. I don't know if you heard me, you've been here a while. I only can share my experiences. That's really all I'm doing. And I'm sharing through my experience and through others' experience from what we've shared and they've shared back. Those are all the things we're sharing. And it's all in line with what I've experienced. So I hear it over and over and over again, and it's similar to what I experienced. Must have some truth to it. That's the way I see it, common sense logic. Right. So, and others do it and they experience the same thing. So, okay, there's some truth to this. We're not 100% truth, because ultimately we have access to ultimate truth, but we don't know ultimate truth in this realm. We have access to it, and our soul has probably complete access to it. But we can experience bits and pieces of that, and we can feel, if we open up our senses and allow these processes to happen, we can feel little by little and gain that trust and faith. And then it doesn't matter what the white jackets, the verbal diarrhea, Luciferic intellect says, we're going to say, thank you for the information, and move on, because we know in our hearts that all that stuff is caca. 99% of it's caca. They have 1% truth hidden in there, and it's all coagulated, or whatever the word I'm using there. So um, one day at a time. We all fall off the wagon. I'm hanging on with one hand, dragging, jump back on, and just have that resilience and the discipline. Oleg, thank you, Gino. Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, Oleg. Anybody got any last questions before we sign off? Thank you for joining. We're just here for support and just chatting, and that's all we can do. The few of the few of the few will continue on this path. Most people ain't tried. We have a lot of people who tried it. Most people will not even try it. George, any herbs for those problems we talked about? Adrenal, semen, anything else? Last Supper 12, George. Last Supper 12. Extra licorice. You can buy the licorice candy, which is not candy, it's pure licorice from Italy you can find. We have links on our website. You can get it if the links are working. They keep changing. But you can find it. I know we can find it up here. Pure licorice. Just to give a boost. You can also get the licorice herb. You can add to your kidney tea. If you have high blood pressure, monitor your blood pressure. It will tend to raise blood pressure in some people using licorice root. You have to pay attention, but most people need help with blood pressure because actually high blood pressure is actually low blood pressure. Once you start clearing out the obstructions, the blood pressure drops. So because everything is just under so much pressure from the obstructions, and it raises the blood pressure. It's just overworked, and once flush out the obstructions, blood pressure goes down because there's no vitality. We need to boost up the vitality by removing the obstructions, and that happens over time. Burn stick, right? Burn stick. Massage your kidneys. Massage acupressure points for kidneys. Skin brushing. Breath work, which is the potato. Less breath work, not more. Less breathing. Sorry. Clean minimal breathing as well. Clean minimal eating and minimal breathing as well. And yeah, that's it. I'm at the point where it drops. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's look at the lifestyle we're living. There's stresses everywhere, unnatural stresses. And naturally, yeah, we have natural stresses living in nature and so on and so forth. But nothing like this. Our phones are going off, bing, 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 bing. These little things are actual stresses, right? They're actual stresses, unnatural stresses. So we're going to minimize this stuff. All these electronic stuff and microwaves and pollution and noise, city noises. These are all stresses, unnatural stresses. Everybody feels better in nature and the sun. Puts a smile on everybody's face. Everybody feels better. And that's where we want to be. We want to ground ourselves. We want to be in nature. We want to hug the trees. We want to breathe the air. We want to feel the sun on our bare skin. We want to be and do that. So yeah. With that said, George, if any other questions before we call it a close? 432 and out. Thank you, George, for joining. It's always a pleasure. Great to chat. It's always great to be around people that are living and loving this lifestyle and to some degree. because it's very few in between, you know, a lot of most of my friends I grew up with, and nobody's living this lifestyle. Some people are dabbling a few things here and there. I teach them. Um, very hard for people to change. But here we are, and we're here for anybody who wants to support. Because not only I can inspire, but people inspire me to continue. I'm still here, you know. I'm getting closer to the 10-year mark, man. It's over 9 years, and unbelievable, unbelievable, remarkable. That's it. Plot everybody. Have a great night, great morning, wherever you are. See you back on the page. See you back on Wednesday, Facebook Live. Should be okay, unless I get something coming up. Ciao for now.